is going on? My name is Kane. I have an Instagram called KaneBull_. Today we are going to be walking around the Brisbane City area with a GoPro strapped to my chest just to give you guys a point of view of what I'm seeing. From there we're just going to make my first ever YouTube video. Let's hit it. Alright, so driving to the Good Guys. See if we can pick up this chest mount for the GoPro. I guess to give a bit of context on what's going on today, I just bought the Sony 50mm 1.8. Just got it in the mail this morning. So I thought, shoot a lot of street, shoot a lot of cityscapes, and I thought that this would be the perfect lens with a decent aperture to be able to capture some of that. And I thought I'd bring you guys along, see what you thought, and get any comments or anything from you guys. I will be running, I'll do a screen capture later on today on my editing process and what I'll do for that as well, and see when I can get it out to you guys. So I hadn't planned for this to be a review video of the 51.8 Sony, but I think I will end up having some comments at the end of the day on how it went and how it feels. So far, had some issues already with the focusing and how loud it is. I've never had a lens that focuses so loudly. I'm currently vlogging on the f2.0 28mm, and it is a fantastic lens, and the focus is so fast and absolutely silent, and the 50 so far sounds like a truck. So we'll see how that goes throughout the day. I may have been trying to focus too close, but we'll see how we go throughout the day. Alrighty, so we've just made it to where I'm going to buy this chest mount from, but just having a look around in the car park, I've actually already found a photo to start off the day with, so let's go check it out. Starting off with this image of the back of the bike, which you can look at the image edited now. Carrying on, I guess you're just looking for any other compositions around the area. It's the middle of the day, so there's not a whole lot going on. So there's some interesting light and shadows going on down this way, which kind of draws me down this little side alley here. As you can see, there's a pretty harsh shadow up against the leaves here, so I make a few photos here. Kind of happy with them, they're okay. Nothing fantastic. And then this gentleman walks out with the trolley while smoking, and I capture one of him there too, which is okay, it's nothing fantastic. So as I'm walking down the street here, a couple of cars always tend to catch my eye next to this BMW dealer here. So there's this Audi where I make a couple of shots of here that I'll insert. There's also some more shadows over across on the other side of the road. I'm also walking in line with someone trying to find a composition that'll work with her. So there's actually quite a harsh shadow up here a bit further that I do get a photo of, but I'm not super happy with. So, still looking around, just to see this guy smoking here that I'll insert an image for. It's okay, there's nothing fantastic there. So this is where I get some photos of some people in that the walkway over there, which look okay. Probably would be a bit better with a telephoto like 70 to 200 there, but you can only work with what you got. I'm not carrying a whole bunch of stuff around. I tend to only carry kind of one lens and one lens around with me, just to help lighten the load a little bit as well, and you can always come back with a different lens for different photos as well. So just a escalator here that can sometimes create some interesting shots. So I've walked around, I've walked up into the station up ahead and couldn't find any photos, so I've made my way back to the escalator that I came up, just essentially just standing here waiting for someone to walk up to give a good subject. This is kind of one of those times when you really need to just be patient and just wait. There we go. And I'll put the image in here. So moving forward, we're now in that walkway that we took some photos of people in earlier. Been here a few times in the past, trying to look out, see if there's any compositions I can find. There's not really a lot going on. Sunlight's pretty harsh outside. I couldn't really find anything, and I didn't really have a lens long enough to be able to find anything else. So I've been into this Myysk shopping centre a few times and made a couple images, and as I'm walking past I just spot this guy working on a watch, which makes quite an interesting photo, which I quite like actually. So I walked up and down a few hallways here, try and find something, and as I came out I noticed the neon sign with this person sitting in front of it, which I thought would make an interesting photo, but didn't really pan out the way I wanted to, not what I saw anyway. So moving on, still finding myself kind of drawn to the neon signs in here and the reflection on the ground, which is quite nice. Try to get a photo of this gentleman with the clock, but it's a bit underexposed, so it's a bit rubbish. Moving on, I move on to this butcher that I've actually photographed before and uploaded some photos to Instagram before that I really like. So I try a bit of a new take, a few different angles with this obviously new 50mm lens, just to see if I can get something different, something a little bit better. And I actually find a couple of good images that I actually really like that I'll show you, that I edit later on. Now looking past it, that guy on the bench would actually be quite a good photo as well. At this point I'm just trying to back up to see if I can get just a single person underneath that blue neon sign, but unfortunately a group of people walk in. And I do take a photo here, but doesn't really work out the way I want it to, and I leave that out of the group, leave that out of my group of shots that I like. So I'm walking along another walkway here, going into another car park, because there always seems to be a few good photos around locations like this. So from there, I found this nice looking Myysk that I didn't initially see until I actually turn around and have a look. And there it is there. So I work my way around, starting just trying to look at the driver's side door, as well as some interesting light coming in on the front. So I'll insert these images here. A couple of the back of the car as well. So I try to keep a general flow on some of these edits, but sometimes it can be a bit tough. See that I just took a photo of the Brisbane city skyline there. Turns out okay. It's a bit of a different angle to what I've taken before, but it works out quite well. And as you can see here, walking over to the edge at the top of this car park here, trying to get some interesting angles on some people walking across the road and see if there's any skyline we can see. There's a couple of people walking across the road. This makes for a really interesting scene with the buildings, and just trying to time it well with that the shadow of the lamppost as well with that alleyway. So I do get quite a good photo there. So this is the part where I come up on and get this photo of, it's kind of like an old church, but it's actually a pub now, I guess, or a nightclub. It's an alright photo. It's probably a little bit cluttered with the buildings behind it. It would have been better if there was no buildings there, just with the two palm trees and the ornament in the middle. Still walking around the top of this car park, seeing what else is going on here. Just looking for some cool cars or any other views that we can find. So this part here, I'm just looking over the edge to see if I can find anything, get anyone walking across that walkway that I came over earlier. Nothing's really working or standing out to me at the moment. It's hard to weigh out whether to wait or just move on. I just end up moving on to seeing what else I can find. So then I stumble across this old red Volvo. Make this photo here, which I quite enjoy. It's nice, it's simple. That other car does end up playing a bit of havoc with that. And again, having a look over the side, seeing what other angles I can find. There's actually a nice Porsche sitting over there that I thought about going to photograph, but then there was a lot of cars around it, so it probably wouldn't have turned out. And then this turns into one of those situations where I have to just wait until someone's moving into a position where they can become the focal point just around the corner from that parking sign to where they're crossing the road. So now there's a person just starting to cross the road now, and I snap off a few photos which actually I quite like. They're pretty good. Could be a little bit better if there was had something had a bit of a longer lens, but it'll do. And I think that's pretty much when I start to move off the roof and go back down. So I've made my way back down off the roof, and I've just spotted a laneway that's quite new, and it's one of those ones that really poses some interesting images but never seem to be able to get anything really good from it. Try a few different compositions, try using this really cool door handle and label to try and get a photo. Doesn't really work out that well, so move on. Just trying a few bits and pieces in there with the lights and the reflection, doesn't really work out. This is where I get one of my favorite photos of the day. So it's actually using the reflection out onto the beams in the alleyway and the staircase inside, as well as the lights inside, so it's kind of like a double frame. Photos like this I'm really drawn to at the moment, where there's the reflection bouncing off and there's something inside and a subject outside to try and it kind of provides a bit of an architectural type photo, which I'm really quite enjoying at the moment. Just keep walking up the alley, see what I can find. I've never been up this way before, so you never know what's going to be at the end of these alleyways, especially with all these new ones popping up in Brisbane. And there's nothing down there, but up here creates a little interesting corner that I quite like, that I get a couple of photos of. So this is where it's a bit interesting in the way that the lights are lighting up. They change color, but actually through the camera they've actually changed color before I even edited them. So it's a bit of fun editing that image. It didn't really turn out how I wanted. It didn't really have a subject or any kind of focal point that was really interesting that I could have used. And if I come along a little bit further, there's actually a person sitting perfectly in the window. That creates a nice shot framed by the white, and out I go, carry on. So I kind of just take a seat here and see if I can wait it out to see if I can find anyone walking through. But unfortunately, no one ever does. I end up waiting here for about 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and no one ever walks past. So carry on, leave it in the bank, come back to it later. Still looks good without any subject in it, and then someone parks there. So away I go. day ends. The SD card runs out and that is the day done. So that is the end of this first style of like street photography point of view vlog. Let me know what you think down in the comments, like, subscribe, and yeah, see you on the next one.